Hello guys, so this will be a short update with the market, the crypto market, what's happening here. We just reached an all-time high this morning. So if we go to CoinGecko, as you can see, Bitcoin price is at its all-time high. It just crossed the 58,000. It reached 59,714. And this is 8:30 a.m. here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm at one of my favorite coffee shop, and I just thought to share my analysis that I was doing by myself. So I will quickly go through what can be the potential price target for Bitcoin, and maybe I will talk about Ethereum also and some other ones that I like. Okay, so let's see. When did it happen? So I was literally sleeping. I was literally sleeping in the morning, and if we look at the 15-minute candle, so as you know, so this is exactly when it happened. So that's about um, 13 March 10. So today is 13 March. So I guess I need to change the timestamp here because I am located in New York time zone. Okay, so in my time it happened at 5 a.m. So it's pretty early. So I woke up around 6 and I all my alerts just busted, and then as you can see, this was the okay. So let's draw some lines here. So if we draw a horizontal line here, so that's going to be 58,149 depending on the exchange. Some exchange has 58,300. So as you know, every time we cross the last all-time high, then there's a boom phase. So the boom phase, we already have this boom phase now on 15-minute candle. As you can see, 15-minute RSI has reached almost 83. Now it's correcting. Now the question is whether there'll be a massive dump or not. So um, it's always not the case, but one wise way of trading is that let the price come and let it get settled down here above this price line, and then you know that the previous all-time high will act like a resistance, and then you can go with a trade, hoping that the price will go up. Now the question is, what can be the price target, right? So for that, we will have to look at the previous price actions. So let's go to the bigger time frame here, like 4 hourly time frame, or let's go to the 1 hourly time frame first. So one very interesting tool that I use, not only for Bitcoin, you can also use it for stocks and for um, any other market that you follow. So it's called Fibonacci tool. So you can find, if I am using right now on TradingView, and you can find the Fibonacci here on the third tool option. If you click on this, then you get Fibonacci retracement. I already favorited it, that's why it's in my favorite bar here. So I click on Fibonacci. Okay, now what I'm going to do, because we have crossed an all-time high. Now let's see what happened when we crossed the all-time high previously. For example, this was our last all-time high here. Let's put it here. So this was an all-time high, 58,349. And what happened before? Let's remove this line here, remove this line here. So let's look at, for example, let's imagine that we have reached another all-time high, 41,903 here. And as you can see, let's draw a line here. So I draw a line here. Now we reached the all-time high on 8 January, and then there was small bear trend here in this region, and then we crossed again the previous all-time high, and then we went to the la- uh, the last all-time high that we are crossing now. Okay, now let's do the analysis of Fibonacci. So I start drawing from here the all-time high, and I find the bottom of the bear market, of the bear trend there. And so you see how as you can see, 1 and 0. So 0 will be at the bottom here, and 1 will be at the all-time high here. And you can see that now this is a very important line that Fibonacci gives us. Fibonacci retracement gives us, which is 1.618. As you can see here, what happened? That uh, basically price after crossing the all-time high, as you can see here, it crossed the all-time high, then it tested it, then it bounced. So this line, the previous all-time high, has acted a resistance, and then it actually it solidified here, consolidated here, and then it went to that 1.618 line eventually. So you can say that when according to the Fibonacci analysis, when we cross a previous all-time high, which is 41,903, and when that gets confirmed, a good Fibonacci based price prediction target is this 1.618 line. Okay, so that is around 50,397. So that happened last time. Let's look at more of these kind of scenarios. So we saw this one. So I am at the 1 hour. Let's go into 4 hourly. That way we'll be able to see more past price actions. So let's look at another all-time high here. For example, you can say that this was an all-time high too. So this was an all-time high too, and then it crossed. So let's say if I go right there and I draw from here to here. So I'm drawing another all-time high. Let's look at 1.618 line, and as you can see, this 1.618 line ultimately gets crossed by this. And after 1.618 line, sorry, it did not cross there. So if I draw here, let's make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. So it's getting cluttered here, but all I'm saying is that another all-time high was this line, this 35,520, and then there was this short-term bear market here, right? This one, and then I draw this Fibonacci. The one is at the top of the all-time high, and 0 is at the bottom, and then I'm looking when the 1.618 got broken. As you can see, this 1.618 got broken. Then actually, because this is not a longer time frame, this is not this because this did not last longer, so this line was not a very strong support. It got broken again, and then again it basically crossed here. As we can see, that was 39,000. That happened on 8th February. So ultimately, but one good thing, so few things that we have learned here. One is that the previous all-time highs acts as resistance. If previous all-time high does not act as resistance, then at least the bottom, the 0 line of the Fibonacci, you can be safe when you make a trade. You make a stop loss. This 0 line can always be is a very strong stop loss line, meaning like, so you if this line gets broken, That means that's a very dangerous situation. As you can see here, the price went all the way up to 1.618, but then it came down, but then you see it did not go below the zero line. So if you have a stop loss here, then you can be pretty safe. Okay, let's look into more of this kind of scenario. So what I was proposing, what people follow, traders follow, is that basically you look into the 1.618 lines here. Now uh, let's go into the daily time frame. That way we will be able to analyze more, because we had a very strong bull market for um, last few months, since October, I would say. So we can see another one here. Let's look into here. So that is the 13 March. So that's the COVID dump here. So let's take a big one. Okay, so I take my Fibonacci again, and I choose the top of the market, and then I choose the bottom, and then I make this huge Fibonacci retracement line. So what do we see here? Okay, so as you can see, this top here and the bottom here. Now this 1.618 line, again, as you can see, this golden ratio 1.618, that was 19,941, and that was also a previous high if you go all the way back here also. Okay, so as you can see, ultimately, once we cross this, the whole idea is, once we cross this previous all-time high, this 13,820, which was the all-time high of the summer of 2019, when we crossed it, let's say you are around this region, what's the price target? So you look for this 1.618 line, which is 19,823. In this case, at least we had a previous price action here also, that makes it even more stronger. And as you can see, ultimately we reached here, then again we tested several times here. Actually, sometimes we get pretty close for zone 9427, then we actually get resisted here. Then again we try multiple times. We tried once, twice. On third time we actually break it. So that means coming back to let me hide this Fibonacci retracement lines and price levels. That means maybe, okay, so that means what can be potentially the future price target. So the future price target of Bitcoin, that means, can be, because we are breaking the previous all-time high of 58,349, I will then make a trade. I'll look into this 1.618 line. That means 67,843. So what can potentially act up, like we can see, like price will go like here around April, or it can even happen today. Okay, it can be, it can have many different patterns, but if you are holding long terms, it can happen like this, then dumps, then like you can think of many different patterns that can pan out here. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm trying to remove this. There's another nice tool that you can use that also helps. So this is a bar pattern that you can find in the tools here. So I can just take this, and this portion of the bar pattern, I can just pull it here. So this is possible, like in 28th March. So we are at 13 March. So in 28th March or before, as you can see, if it follow the same sort of pattern, we can reach by the end of this month 67,000. Then possibly we'll have another bear market here. For example, I mean, I can take this portion here. Oh, sorry. So I can take another bottom bar pattern here. So we can have something like this here. I can change the color to red. Yep. And then again possibly we can go like this. So as you can see, 1.618 line will be 67,000, and then ultimately maybe we are reaching 82,000. Okay, so that's my quick price prediction based on Fibonacci. Now another tool that I like, that I want to see. Let's look at the indicators. CPR by kg. So these are called central pivot lines. Now it's CPR. I want to only show weekly and monthly. So this CPR has some mathematical fundamental reasons for why they work. So let's go into the monthly pivots. So let's look at how they align with these Fibonacci ones. So typically these lines that you see, these blue ones. So this blue one is a central one, and then this green one is sort of like deviation towards the upside. So these are the target lines. So as you can see, this can be a potential target too, 71,000. So right now this 58,000 already has crossed. So for example, I was only talking about the uptrend. So this can be a potentially good resistance, 45,000. So if you want to make a trade, you want to put a stop loss, then basically then you can use this line as a stop loss, which will be 45,000. So we are talking about, let's say right now, if the price drops, so that's 23% drop in the worst case scenario, which already have happened. As you can see, once the last time we went to 58,000, we came here. In the worst case scenario, possibly it can happen another 23% drop, most likely not 23, maybe 15% or 20% drop. Then again Bitcoin will probably go up. Okay, so this line can be a good support line. This line, if it's even worse, this line can be a support line to 40,000. So my prediction, with very strong prediction, is that Bitcoin price at least next 6 months not going below 40,000. Let's see whether this pans out or not. Comment please, like whatever you think. I don't think it's going to go below this line at least next 6 months, as long as we are in the stronger trend. Okay, that's for Bitcoin. And at the same time, weekly. So there's some things you need to know in terms of weekly patterns. Is Let me hide some of these lines. Then I'll bar patterns, and let's hide the CPR also. Okay, in weekly, typically, as you can see, in a bull market, you have multiple weak green bars, and then you will have some red bars. As you can see, we have seen a really big red bar that did not happen anytime recently. We have not seen such a big red bar, like we have seen such a big bar in 2018. Even in 2018, what percentage was it? So that was 41%. Okay, so I guess maybe I'm in the logarithmic scale now. So 41% drop, but this week's drop was 25%. So it's still, yeah. So the 2018 drop was much bigger. So you'll always have to take a very cautious look into that. After several green bars, you should expect there will be some red bars. So one way of looking at it again is RSI. RSI above 70 means it's overbought. That means everybody, I think maybe people will short it or sell it. So here, as you can see, when RSI has hit 93, you should expect that there will be a correction, of course. So right now, RSI is still 74, and it may pan out like this. That means we will probably have multiple bust and boom cycle here. So actually, let's take a look with, let's say if we pan out this bar patterns here, and if the same thing that happened back in 2017, if we bring it back here, what is our price target? So okay, 77,000. Okay, uh, I think people actually predict even more. So actually, maybe log is better. So if basically what I was trying to say, if I take the bar pattern from here to here, and if I bring it back here, yep, this is what people talks about, is if the same sort of bull patterns pans out, same sort of bull patterns uh, pans out this time. So we are thinking about, like, we can even go to 300,000. So we are talking about by the end of 2021. So I think this whole year is a bull market. So I believe at least we'll reach 100,000, and maybe around here, that's going to be July, maybe 150,000, 180,000. Then I believe maybe I can also bring bear patterns here. As I take this portion, pans out this portion, color it with red, color it with red. Okay, and then maybe around here we'll see something like this. So it's possible that we'll reach even 300,000 or 200,000, and then we'll see uh, bear market for another 2 years. That's how typically, and we'll probably wait for another halving. So halving happened last summer, 2020 summer, then we'll wait for 2024 summer for another boom. Okay, so this is with Bitcoin, and then if I look at Ethereum here, so what's happening here? So I can quickly draw the Fibonacci retracement line here to kind of get the price action. So let's go to the 4 hourly here, or 1 hourly here. So if we do that, what happens? Okay, so so okay, so Ethereum price, the all-time high was 2000, $2,000 already, $2,000 already. And if I take a Fibonacci retracement line from here to the bottom, which is 1293, which was actually the previous highs around 1300. So where is the 1.618 line? 2505. So these can be the potential price target, 2500, at least on the short term, and then maybe 3000. So I'm pretty sure Ethereum price probably by the end of this year will reach at least 3,500 or 3,000 dollars. Okay, now let's take a quick look at the market. So some other things, BTC dominance, because Bitcoin is having a bull. So BTC dominance is high, 60.5%, um, and mostly green, as we can see last 7 days. And there was a market crash also, but it's good that there was a stock market crash, and that did not influence a whole lot on crypto market, which means that the inflation, people are basically moving money um, to other assets, and crypto is gaining more confidence in terms of the store of value. So it's definitely, we're definitely in a bull market, that's like for sure guaranteed. So Cardano 1.13 may be a good time to buy Cardano, and Polkadot here, Uniswap, and all those Uniswap's child, SushiSwap 22. So I think I'll buy some sushi swap because it has the same potential like Uniswap with some changes. Then you have pancake swap. Okay, sushi and pancake. So I think it's a really good time to buy here because after this dip, so you should buy the dip here. Okay, and of course I own Finance. Where's the graph? I like graph. Graph is still $1, which is good. You should also look into the market cap and see it's not that any coin cannot go to arbitrarily any large value, uh, because you need to think about that what's the maximum market cap one particular market can actually gain, and the price should be a reflection of that too. So okay, but Bitcoin sort of acts like a hedge for other crypto coins. So you can, one way to see is basically see a comparison using the graph. You can just compare using this. For example, if I put the graph here, graph GRT USD, so I can see the comparison. As you can see, yep, graph is doing really well. Okay, that's it for today, and I will come with more updates. Thank you. Bye.